Good morning. 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 Okay, you're welcome, welcome to this wonderful edition of Bystanders at an Instance. I'm Christian Chuku on this wonderful edition of the program. We're here in Ogba, as we usually do, to get people talking on issues that concern them in the society today. I want to say a big welcome to everyone that has subscribed to Flip TV and are a part of this wonderful experience. Thank you very much. Welcome wherever you are in the diaspora, wherever you are in the city of Lagos, in Africa, and also all over the world. Welcome to this edition of Bystanders at an Instance. This Thursday in Nigeria, we have environmental, where people have to stay at home till 10 p.m. Those selling wares and goods, so they have to stay at home and do an environmental cleaning. That's why you find that the streets is a bit dry. When it's 10 o'clock, they all come out and open their shops. I'm Christian Chuku on this wonderful edition of the program. I have Mr. Samuel, Mr. Matthew, other people that are here this morning to do justice to the newspaper headlines. What do we have for today? Let's go straight to the newspaper headlines. I have with me the Daily Sun newspaper. The Daily Sun newspaper. And I also do have the New Telegraph this morning. The Daily Sun and the New Telegraph. Let's stay with the New Telegraph. What is new on the Telegraph this morning? IMF above the masthead. IMF says Nigeria remains Africa's biggest economy. IMF says Nigeria remains Africa's biggest economy. Let me read a little report from that. With a value of $480.5 billion, the Nigerian economy remains its position as the biggest in Africa in 2021. Latest data released by the International Monetary Fund, like the IMF, shows that according to the data, the South African economy, with a value of $415.3 billion, occupies the second position, followed by Egypt's economy with a value of $396 billion, with Algeria's economy, which comes fourth place with a value of $163.8 billion. With a value of $126 billion, Morocco's economy is ranked fifth, followed by Kenya's $109.5 billion, followed by Ethiopia, 92.8 billion, Ghana 75.5 billion, Angola 70.3 billion, Tanzania 69.2 billion. This is the data from the International Monetary Fund. It is a World Bank organization. Now, IMF is saying Nigeria remains Africa's biggest economy. What is happening in Nigeria today? If Nigeria still remains Africa's biggest economy, why is it not reflecting in the lives of its citizens? Why is it that people are suffering? They cannot afford basic amenities, they cannot afford shelter, healthcare, and also food to eat. Lagos for Lagos, a group in Lagos, they call them Lagos for Lagos movement, to PDP stirs fresh crisis in the state. Lagos for Lagos movement have moved to PDP. It stirs fresh crisis in the states. Remember, I recall Saraki had to visit Lagos so as to supervise uh, the camp, the camping of members of this Lagos for Lagos to the PDP. How Saraki ignored Body George Agbaje welcomed defectors. How Saraki ignored Body George Agbaje welcomed defectors. Jando can't pick a Guba ticket cheaply. That's from PDP. Jando can't pick a Guba ticket. PDP, I think 2023 will be a tough year, especially in Lagos State. Ohaneze to CNG, Igbo will never kneel for 2023 presidency. Igbo will never kneel for 2023 presidency. Says not should rather beg Indigo to occupy office. Not should rather beg Indigo to occupy office. Appeal Court delivers 568 judgment via Zoom. Appeal Court delivers 568 judgment via Zoom. Disposes 5,669 cases in 2020-2021 legal year. We will no longer tolerate judges' harassment. That is from the CGN Tanko. Daily Yugot could control high blood pressure. Daily Yugot could control high blood pressure. Daily Sun this morning. Let's look at what happened. Daily Sun. According to the report we have on the Daily Sun, Buhari rejects the electoral bill. I read the story. Buhari, the presidency has returned the bill back to the National Assembly so as to implement some changes, especially with regards to the indirect primary. That the governors have been asking that they should remove direct primary and leave indirect primary. Okay, because I believe it's going to affect them. Buhari rejects electoral bill. Ask lawmakers to rework draft. Ask lawmakers to rework draft. Compulsory direct primary infringement on parties' rights. That is from Uzodinma. Compulsory direct primary and infringement on parties' rights. Uzodinma is speaking. Middle Belt Forum, Arewa Youth TMG kick. Middle Belt Forum, Arewa Youth TMG kicks. Countdown to Governor Uzodinma's presentation of his book, Reflection on the Igbo Question. Amiable Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has come out with a book, and the book is titled Reflections on the Igbo Question. What are the questions people are asking about the Igbo people, or what are the questions Igbo people are asking? Let me read an excerpt from that book this morning, a teaser. I'll call that the teaser this morning. The youth preponderantly want a nation that affords them the level playing field which they believe Nigeria has not provided and does not seem able to provide for its citizens. Some people agree with them and argue that the restiveness of Igbo youth in agitating for Biafra springs from the inequities of a skilled federal structure which has turned the federating units into appendages of the center. This has resulted in a dependency syndrome that has reduced the federating units to stultified estates floundering in constant retrogression. That might be big grammar this morning, but let me just look at how I can bring it down. What the teaser is saying, that the youth want a nation that will give them a level playing field, and they believe that Nigeria has not done that. And some people agree with them that the reason for the agitations in the southeast is as a result of a skilled federal structure that has turned the federating units, that means the states, into beggars and not independent. And that's one of the reasons why, that's one of the things the book is saying. Okay, countdown to Governor Uzodinma's presentation of his book, Reflections on the Igbo Question. President condoles with parents' relations of Ojodu Grammar School students. President condoles with parents' relations of Ojodu Grammar School students. Only 2 students died and 14 others injured. That's from FRSC boss. Only 2 students died, 14 others injured. That's a report from the Federal City Commission. Judicial officers won't be intimidated. CGN has come out to say that again. Judicial officers won't be intimidated. I won't resign over frequent jailbreaks. I won't resign over frequent jailbreaks. Wow. We know that in Nigeria, this is prevalent. People don't resign even if they fail at their duty. It has become a culture, especially in the political class. But when we look at other climes, we find that people really would bow out of office if they have less than such challenges that this minister is having. Aregbesola, I won't resign over frequent jail breaks, says security around correctional centers to be stepped up. Oh, Ejika Chebe, Nwanyam orders to grace Imo governors book launch. That's what I have Mr. Samuel Elfong. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Christian.
How was your
Good
day?
morning. Yeah, my day has been fine. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, viewers at home. Yes, my name is Samuel Efyong. So,
I know you are coming out with a book.
yes, so I just placed the call. So they are labeling the book. So I think it will be here maybe tomorrow or next, whichever. But I know I'll bring it here on or before Saturday.
Okay, let's look at Uzodima's book, Reflections on the Igbo Question. And one of the things I got from this teaser or excerpt that he wrote, that is being written on his paper this morning, says that the youth want a nation that affords them a level playing field, which they believe Nigeria has not provided and does not seem able to provide for its citizens. Some people agree with them and argue that the restiveness of Igbo youth in agitating for Biafra springs from the inequities of a skilled federal structure. Do you agree?
Well, it's an excerpt. So it might have been writing from, I wouldn't know what the beginning was and what
Are you
the
not saying it's
middle.
because of it? Hope doesn't matter.
No, I've not even made any statement.
Okay.
So that part to me is what most people know, that is some of the reasons of the agitation. So just like I said, it's an essay. I wouldn't know what he was trying to summarize or the point he was trying to push. But whichever way, he simply from this excerpt, it simply means he identifies and knows the problem. So you can know the problem and now pretend not to know the problem. But I also want to use this medium to give a shout out to my friend and my very good friend. His name is Ayogu Chinedu. He's doing his convocation, Masters in Political Science, Obafemi Awolowo University. So Ayogu Chinedu. Yeah, he's a very sound guy, brilliant guy. Maybe one of these days I'll bring it up to the platform as well. Yes, but I mean, irony, the system does not encourage sound people. So it's so unfortunate about that.
One of the reasons why people agitate uh, every day.
Yeah, so
agitation might be in different forms.
Yes. So back to the excerpt of Hope Uzodimma. So you can write good or probably hire good writers to say some things factual, just to appease your ethnic group or your religious alignment. Then go back and do something different. So it's a typical attitude of the Nigerian political class, especially those in the south. So we've had situations whereby people, especially from Southwest, criticize the then PDP government, the likes of Tinubu, Fashola, so many of them in the opposition. So, but would you have believed that they will make up the cabinet and what happened in NSAS will happen in Lekki too, including our activists? So it's normal.
Okay, let's also, if Uzodinma comes for a second term, would he win an election?
It depends on the people.
With what has happened in the past few months.
It depends on the people in the state if they really want. We've seen incumbents lose election in Nigeria. Good luck, Billy Jonathan lost election. I think in Imo State, the then governor, Rota contested with an incumbent, won. So it's not new. So, but if the system that I don't know how Uzodinma won in Supreme Court, I'm still trying to check the technicalities that. Though I read it over and over. In fact, I've invited my law friend to help me again because I'm still trying to phantom how he did that or how the Supreme Court arrived at that judgment. But it's nothing new. We've seen cases within the judicial system whereby there was a case in Ondo State whereby I was just asking. I'm more or less like a political philosopher. I ask questions. I don't know anything. I don't think I know anything most times. How? What was the evidence, or how did the judges arrived at giving that man life imprisonment? And the children church where the child was missing, the children teachers. So I'm still trying to learn more.
Nigerian system.
I don't know. I'm learning. For every day, there's a new magic. Sorry, a new headline or a new uh, fantasy or movie or whichever way we can. So I normally ask questions. So thanks to our viewers at home. Thanks for your support.
Okay.
Thanks for everything you've done, especially to us as analysts and.
Okay, let's look at Buhari rejects electoral bill.
Obviously,
Asks the lawmakers to rework the draft. Compulsory direct primary infringement on parties' rights. I want to be particular on this. Compulsory direct primary is infringement on parties' rights.
If you say indirect primary, is it not an infringement on the right of parties? You see, the point is, those who don't want the electoral bill to be signed, they have reasons. Those who don't want it to be signed, they have reason. So if you say indirect, your party is really following direct. People, there is infringement on people that you following that. Even the directive, there's infringement. Which it was in this Nigeria, we saw a sitting governor lost in a so-called direct primary. Is it not wonderful?
A sitting governor.
Somebody. In your own inner heart, if an election is old, normal, you think a sitting governor will lose? I don't think so. But in Nigeria, anything can happen anyhow, anytime, any day, and there will be justification. So it's nothing new.
Okay, Nigeria remains Africa's biggest economy.
Obviously, now.
80.5 billion naira. What's the need for the report?
No. You see, when you say African, if you read that report, then obviously it's real. You have the largest market, you have the largest population, people will buy and sell, you can make more. But in your total sales as a whole, how much comes to, for example, your crude products comes in here, do they estimate how much that would have been used for refining? Do they estimate? So when it comes to IMF, if you do it over, it's the largest economy, but that does not translate to the per capita income of the livelihood of people. It will always be a largest economy because you have the market, you have the population, you import more. When you check countries that buys Africa, you import more. So you tend to import more, you buy more. So it will always be largest economy. There's engagement of economic activities more than any African country. It's simple English now. Largest economy. But how does those economy translate to the people's livelihood? It's a different game altogether. So that's why you can have a largest economy with the highest poverty. You don't understand?
I understand.
You can have the largest economy, yet still retain the highest poverty. So when you don't push out to the world what you produce, you won't really have more in terms of monetary strength to develop your economy. So what you do is you have the large economy, you can import this, you can import that, you can do this, more economic, yet you are borrowing more. So that's why at the point, China had their largest population, strong economy. But what happened? It was when they sat down and start capitalizing on technology and some key fields. That is why that their population set can now start turning to something realistic. So Nigeria can be large in Africa, but yet be the poverty capital of the world. It's nothing new. It's simple economy, macro economy, micro. It's not even macro, it's micro. It's here 1-1.
What can Nigerian or the political leadership do for us to have this? If you have biggest economy, let it reflect on the GDP of Nigeria. What can Nigeria?
Just like I want to use this venue to correct some hide and seek viewers. I think as 2 days ago I came, I was trying to create an expression on the situation of Nigeria, and it's not easy coming out in public to see some of these things because that's the most difficult thing you can do as a patriotic Nigerian. I think Taiwo Odunlade or whatever, I'm sorry, I don't care whatsoever name it is. Those who have puppets, they pay what they want those people to say. So I know people, even as a reviewer, that they have to send money to because he has to send money to because the person has said what he wants him to say, that how it should be said. And you see, we have hypocrites in the Nigerian landscape than any other country in the world. We have people with double standard and very on a different level of corruption. So those kind of people that we don't see their face, they don't come out to national issues, they don't contribute to national development, they don't write, they just stay in one place because of some people pay them for ethnic or religious or political affiliation. So now, in bringing that back to your point you just made, the solution of Nigeria is too much. That is written in different archives from recommendation. If you go and check the thesis of master students in different schools, economically, political, the solution is more than the problem. Just take a stroll to the University of Lagos. I'm quoting, I finished from Obafemi Awolowo University. Let me leave my school. University of Lagos here, I do read there in the library. Check the archive, Department of Economics, Department of Sociology, and there's this Dr. Ogugwa, Department of Sociology, University of Lagos. That man has written, has traveled to South Africa, has done research on political, sociological solutions. I was listening to him on the radio 2 weeks ago. He was marshalling out. The solution is more than the problem in this country, as long as I'm concerned. Yeah, so when somebody is not telling me, which solution do you prefer? Are you drunk? Which means the person does not even know the activities. Go and read the journal released by, I think, University of Ibadan just last week. Jega spoke on solution. The Law 12 weekly journal, University of Ibadan. Jega spoke on solutions, how judges sell judgment to the highest bidder, and gave solution. So if you read journals, you read articles, you read publications, you read thesis paper, the solutions are more than, I've read more of solution of Nigeria than even the problem, personally. So when people say, what the solutions that have been there by recommendation year in, year out, check channels, TVC, Arise, analysts come, different books, articles from 1960. The solution of Nigeria is more than the problem. But where the problem lies is the witchcraft in the space of leadership failure. I've been the one not even implementing 1/10 of the solution. I have a recent publication now that I'm also contributing on. It's about political economy, how to diversify. That is solution. So, but the point is, somebody that cannot sign electoral bill, you are now saying I should stand, and which solution are you going to give to a dead man? It be like fly when one enter she, when one follow she enter grave. Is it irrespective of what you say? Year in, year out, there's no year in school. One tertiary is local. You will see professors writing master's degree holder, thesis paper, Institute of Economic Research, Chartered Institute of this, all is solution, articles. So when people now say, what is the solution to Nigeria? It means that person did not go to school. It means that person is daft. That person don't know the number. If I tell you the numbers of journals that come out in Nigeria, but the Nigerian writers contribute locally, and in a week, you'll be shocked that, so this kind of write-ups that provided solution is this enormous. So when you now hear, what is the solution? You want me to start telling you the solution? It means you've not been reading about solutions that have been provided. Solutions that have been provided till now. So the solutions are number one, like this electoral bill that somebody did not sign, is a solution to solve some problems. So, but what happens?
There should be a solution after a solution. If our leaders are not willing to implement this solution, what should happen? What should be?
What will be happening is the only people who speak to them, to countries of the world, in the language you understand. Boko Haram is speaking to the government in the language they understand. Bandit is speaking to them in the language they understand. IPOP is making agitation in the language they understand. Niger Delta militants and the Avengers is speaking to them in the language they understand. NSAS youth is speaking to the language. So expect that when those solutions are not implemented, the sophistication of violence. I told somebody that if Nigerian youth are sophisticated in the use of violence, that NSAS youth that they came out, they'll be thinking about rocket launcher, how to donate bomb to some locations. So because it's a gradual progression, when issues are not stem at the primary stage, they evaluate, and the human mind is robust enough to think wide into other means of livelihood and survival. So that's why the rate of violence will always forget what anybody will come out and tell you. The rate of violence in Nigeria. Dowen College, somebody, they killed a child and they covered it up. As of 2 days ago, it was a girl of 8 years old that was killed in Ekiti and kept in a bag. in a cooler. It's online. You can read it. In a cooler. Redeemed Christian Church of God, first act, the pastor was stabbed. You've not heard about that one. Hilton Hotel in Ife, Parakin. So when you check now, Nigerians have a dominance of psychopaths that will not there. So the depression is taking at a point. People were flying to third mainland. So just what when it gets to a time, what we make them understand is only one language. It's a black man rulership. So perpetually, maybe Nigeria will remain a third world country.
Perpetually.
In the biblical days, all countries in the biblical days, all nations that were the land flowing with milk and honey. Was it not one God that created all of them? Some were flowing with milk and honey. Why some were not? That's why the children of Israel start looking for a different location. So if you compare that to what is happening now, children of Israel like we will start looking at US and UK.
And I pray we get to our
destination. Amen, amen, amen. That amen, amen.
We get to our destination.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel.
Thank you.
I have Mr. Chigozie. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We are not looking for any other country except Biafra. So the UK you are thinking of, or the Americans, we are fixed by people. You see, and what you or claim to be the solutions are not, of course, the epistles or the compendiums are drafted in the papers. I think those things are not yet, of course, they are not solutions. If there were solutions, people wouldn't have been asking for solutions. Because you can't be asking for water in the pool of water. It means it could invariably suggest that that pool of water is not good for human consumption. It's just like seeing yourself within a sea, a body of sea, a salty sea. You see, these are also water, but it can't provide, it can't quench your thirst. You see, quench your thirst, it can't satisfy you. So the mirrors of whatever you call the solutions, people's write-ups or whatever, it does not provide solution to the peculiarity of the problem bedeviling Nigeria. You see, take an instance, a reference from America. How did they get their independence? They are enjoying liberty today because they fought for it. A time came when they stood up and fought for their independence. They fought for, of course, good governance. They fought virtually for whatever you are enjoying today. In America, in UK, even the Israel also fought. You see, there can never be true peace without preparing for war. So all those academic write-ups or performance cannot chart the way forward. It's just like becoming, even the professors are trapped in this mess. You see, in this perpetual slavery. That's why, of course, you can see just a common chairman, world councillor, he earns more than a professor.
Nigeria.
In Nigeria. So what is the essence of those write-ups? The only solution to this peculiarity of the Nigerian problem, which is not different from what Americans experience, what other nations of the world experience, even what Sudan experienced, they have to rise to the occasion to confront, of course, the status quo. The government that is bent at exterminating all of us. You cannot dislodge them by on the pages of paper. You cannot, of course, dislodge them by carrying out any academic research on economic development. You have all those things, and yet we are the most backward nation of the world.
So
very unfortunate.
Africa's biggest economy. From IMF.
In what respect? Who is IMF? They are very useless. They are very useless. Do you call them organization or entity? Of what importance, relevance are they to African development? They have more or less contributed to the woes, to the problem and impoverishment of this African region. But unfortunately, of course, that wouldn't have been possible without, of course, the conspiracy of the supposed African, of course, tyrants who, of course, lives luxury life at the expense of their own people. You see, the two parties, luxury life, ostentatious cars, and all of that, fleets of cars. I was discussing to one Mr. David from UK. He said that even the UK Prime Minister sometimes goes to office with a bicycle,
Yeah, but
rides a bicycle to the office, to the Oval Office. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, without any attachment of all those uglies and all that.
yeah.
Uh, that is simplicity. That is service to humanity. He prefer the service to his own people than, I mean, embarking work for himself. You can imagine such society where nobody is allowed to own up to more than 5 cars. What are you doing with those cars? What are you doing with the fleets of aircrafts, private jets? Why your people are dying? Why your people? In fact, this is a useless country. You can understand the incident that happened. Was it 2 days ago, where several scores of students were just crossed because of the useless state we found ourselves. Why should the police force or whatever the last mile, whatever they call them, be chasing after a moving truck? By the way, why should those trucks be moving within the day? I think there was a law by Lagos State to restrict them from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But were those law implemented? If they were have been implemented, such casualty wouldn't have been recorded. You see, the fundamental problem of this country is not about policy formation or policy making or coming up with any academic uh, papers or what. The fundamental problem lies on the culture of the people. You see, when, as I said, the tyrant rulers of Africa, I see, lives in luxury at the expense of their people. Not until we begin to take responsibility of holding them accountable. There is no future for, of course, there is no future for this country. If there is future for this country, over 20 children were crossed during your, I think when you are celebrating your birthday, at your 35 birthday, people were killed. You can imagine, I think it's cause for celebration for you surviving up to this time in Nigeria. It's very unfortunate anyway. And so IMF should go to hell with whatever
I don't see how
reports.
it reflects on the Nigerian, the normal Nigerian. That report does not reflect in your
How does it reflect?
Nigeria being the biggest economy.
When I'm hungry, biggest economy in what? And Lucky is hungry, calling for yam. Of course, he will give us updates of the yam price by when he comes up. So he's the one in charge of that. So this is very disappointing. A country that is still borrowing to sustain its recurrent expenditures, let alone talking of capital investment. How do you? Somebody told me that over 32 African countries, currency is more heavier than, is more valuable than Nigerians' own. 32 within Africa, and how do you call them? In fact, that director of IMF should be stoned to death if I have access to him.
Buhari rejects electoral bill. Say the bill is an infringement on parties' rights.
That is the fundamental. I told you that you are in for the wars. You are still talking about it is the fundamental. Is much expected. He will reject it, so that of course he will continue to perpetuate himself or remain relevant after even he must have left office. He wants to bring his own anointed candidate to continue to rip up the country, to continue to subjugate, of course, the Igbo Reds. And as of course, if he could not achieve his agenda of eradicating the Igbo people, he will want to install another Fulani person who will accomplish that on his behalf, on behalf of the Fulani Caliphate. So it is not a surprise for him to have, of course, rejected assent to that bill. because he knew for sure that he never meant well for Nigerian people, and he rather than, of course, transforming Nigeria, he will rather, of course, prepare a ground for his own people, the Fulani Caliphate, to overrun the Nigerian state. Because on this ground, he will never attempt to whatever that will engender, of course, prosperity or equity or fairness to all asunder. And of course, that will never have been deter the agitation for the restoration of the Biafran state. Biafra is the way forward. Otherwise, you are all gone. But Biafra, yeah. Okay, this man is gone. Yes, because he's gone. He's is neither. Okay, they still regard him as a minority. Edo, where is your place in Nigeria?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie. Good morning, Mr. Lucky.
Good morning. Good morning, my brother. Good morning, viewer. Good morning, everybody in abroad and Nigeria. I use this medium to thank you, all of you. I use this medium to thank Sandra Sakari Abaka Mohammed. God bless you for touching my daughter's life. I'm so happy wherever you are for school fees. They are about to climb AQT and he really tried for her. And may God bless you and bless the CEO and my coordinator here, my brother, Christian. God bless you. We are about to enter new year again. As that new year, those that remember us, God bless you to 100 and something years in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Nigeria remains Africa's biggest economy. That's from the IMF.
But I could remember we treated this 3 days ago. Nigeria made the biggest. No, not possible. It's not possible. Nigeria made the biggest of Africa in economy.
Yes.
But Nigeria made the biggest poor in Africa. Wait. Things are not going nowhere here because we have bad government. Why people rush to South Africa? Why people rush to Ghana? Because the country is okay. The only people who are rushing here is China. Because China, they are worse than even Nigeria.
But China has a good economy.
China, what economy are they building? They are supporting our money. Anywhere you see company, China company, in fact, their people, they are up to 70% to the Fokananza. So Nigeria is not the biggest economy in Africa.
So Nigeria is the big economy. We have the market.
Which market? Who is buying? Who is selling? That's the question I'm asking you now. Is it the border they close? How many people coming to Nigeria to buy market? Is it the border they close? Is it Benin? Do we have money to buy? No. So Nigeria is not the biggest economy in Africa. You can say Nigeria is bigger for population.
That's the potential.
For land mass.
That's the potential.
But when you talk about economy,
mineral resources, that's the potential.
Mineral resources we are not seeing. Go to South Africa, we use the DSTV. Nigeria patronize the DSTV. Where's our own NTA? Who is watching NTA? So South Africa has a lot of investment. Ghana has a lot of investment. Why Nigeria going to Ghana? Where your money is okay, you are the biggest economy, not Nigeria.
Okay, Buhari rejects electoral bill.
What do you expect? What do you expect?
My brother is laughing.
He's laughing because we have a president that doesn't go to school. If the man go to school,
he has advisors that went to school.
Yes, but he's a former general.
At least he went to school. He has advisors.
He's a leader of some of these African countries.
Yes.
A president, chairman. Is it the advisor that speaks to him for them? When he's studying, he can address United Nations.
Okay.
So he doesn't know the meaning of electoral B. Doesn't know that he's going to favor Nigeria. Something that will make the election be better. If Jonathan have not made Carida, do you think we'll move forward? What he's doing is that he knows that is going to favor the South. Now he's trying to close it. He has the old candidate.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, that's no opinion, but he has the old candidate.
Mm.
See, it's very wrong. But I believe
Hmm?
before then, he will change his mind.
Okay, give us updates, Mr. Lucky.
The update is as a yam of a minister of yam, a minister of food and drugs. I will give you update. Update is that nothing is even cheap now. Nothing is going down at all. Everything is very high. For us to even get money to buy is a problem. My brother, I do not believe 100,000 naira, 100,000 naira, just like 20,000 naira. You can only hear it, 100,000 naira will be happy. But take that 100,000 to market. What are you going to buy? You know how much that's about to sell chicken? For this Christmas, Buhari deprive us everything for this Christmas. And he hate Christian. He hate Christian. He hate Christian. He hate Christian. Why I say hate Christian? Since the day Buhari climbed that post, Christians have not got themselves. We are not be eating well. This is Christmas that everybody is supposed to be celebrating. Muslim and Christian. When you go for Christmas, we celebrate together. But this time around, the man has divided us. And you know, imagine how much did they sell a bag of rice now? How much did they sell? What is farming? Benue is the basket of the nation. Benue are not farming. Even my area now, I just say we can't farm the one that we can eat. How much more to sell? So these are very expensive. If you know, except if they can open border, just open border for 1 month, allow people to come in. Well, okay. No preaching COVID, microfinance, Microsoft, micro what? Bringing you name to support money in Nigeria. My brother, if Nigeria really have COVID-19, everybody they has is poverty, hunger, 9 day. Hunger day, hunger. Let me tell you, this Sunday low, they moved COVID in Nigeria.
But there's COVID-19 in Nigeria.
I only had to, we have malaria typhoid at the work killing. Malaria typhoid have entered US. Now they call it COVID in Nigeria, yeah. Typhoid and malaria.
Okay.
See people, I don't believe when they use agbo, the thing is gone. So what we are saying, hunger is COVID in Nigeria. Hunger is poverty, hunger. We are hungry. Why do you know I say this every day? I go out, I see how people are poor. Did you see number one insecurity? See what we are suffering in Lagos, not even kidnapping. See beauty collapsing under Sanwo-Olu. See trailer killing children. They kill 17 in Ojodu. Do you know how many people suffer that event? People that doesn't know anything. The boys took up arm, took up cutlass and started destroying cars because of neglect of the government at the last man. How can last man be pursuing trailer just 3,000 naira to collect 3,000 pursuing trailer? Because we have no security. Do you believe when Ambode was on throne, Ambode banned BIO, banned no safety. Nigeria was free. We were safe. But under Sanwo-Olu, because of money, you brought this book back. And this money they are collecting, they are for politicians. They massacre students. With the hungry, with everything in Nigeria, we have no governor and president. What kind of life are we living? So this time around, 2023, whether Buhari reject, be you know reject, Buhari should just pack kilo and go. Osinbajo should go. Nigeria youth wake up. 2023 is for the youth, me and you. We will stand and make sure to defend our vote, just like the way Edo people, Isha, Uromi, we defend our vote. That day we are going to vote that APC out of this Nigeria. In Jesus' name. I bless again. Please, as I said, my brother, I will not close my mouth. Abdul Karim, may God bless you, madam. Thank you. If you want to assist, anyhow, I'm there. God bless you as you assist me. My daughter, God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lucky. I have Mr. Matsu this morning. You might have a different view from what Mr. Lucky is saying this morning. Nigeria remains the biggest, Africa's biggest economy.
Okay, there's no argument
Why
about that.
$480.5 billion?
There's no argument about that. Looking at indices of what makes an economy, you cannot say Nigeria is not a major player in African economy. If you even look at what we absorb in terms of if you are importing, see that Nigeria is a big market. So I'm not arguing whether Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. I'm not arguing that.
Okay. Now we are looking at the fact that even if Nigeria is the biggest, why is it that it's not reflecting on the lives of an ordinary Nigerian?
It's a failure of leadership. Do you know that in this country, the money that is being budgeted, you don't see it reflect in the project that is designated for such money. If you look at what is happening currently, ICPC, a government anti-graft agency, uncovered about 200 and something duplicated projects in this current budget that is running. And this is what has been going on in every fiscal year. So how do you expect the money that is being expended, that is being expended by government, that they say they are spending, how do you expect it to reflect in the life of the citizens when it ends in the private pockets? The issue of budget pardon, we seldom hear about it, not because it's not existing, but because the government of the day have whipped everybody into line. Nobody is speaking up. It's even surprising that ICPC has spoken up on this. So the issue is, the reason we are not seeing the money that is being expended by government reflect in the life of Nigerians is because of corruption, because it ends in private pockets.
Okay, Buhari rejects electoral bill. Who's of the mind saying that compulsory direct primary infringement on parties' rights?
Let me say that it's not every time one should criticize. If somebody does what looks fair, you acknowledge it. For me, let me first of all say that National Assembly in the first place, they were not meticulous in the passage of that bill. Because don't forget that the presidency forwarded that bill to INEC, who is the end user of that bill, to examine and put their input before presidential assent. And from the feedback the presidency got from INEC is that if you are conducting direct primary, it's going to cost 500 billion. So is it reasonable to spend 500 billion to organize primary? I don't think so. In the current situation where you are talking about scarce resources. Then again, you look at direct and indirect primary. What advantage have that direct primary over indirect primary? I've not seen it. I can drop opinion if I have a superior argument. Because I've seen that in the recent election that was conducted in Anambra State, APC used direct primary to get their flag bearer, Anduba. And in that direct primary, Anduba scored 250 something thousand votes. Yes, he recorded 260 something, 50 something thousand votes. In the general election, he scored 40 something thousand. So by implication, it means they manipulated the figure. It means the figure they turned out in that primary was not the actual vote cast. So is that a test run? Is that what you are trying to give us? And again, you see, as political parties, they should have some leverage, some level of independence to determine how to elect their flag bearers. So you don't streamline it by the constitution to say you must go by this. I can understand that the National Assembly were trying to weed down the power of the executive governors who with so much power on the system. But again, even with the current scenario, the governors will still hijack it if you even allow the direct primary to say true. But the truth is that I do not see the advantage direct primary has over indirect primary. Because otherwise, somebody will argue with National Assembly that if you are talking about all carry members should vote as a way of making everybody to be represented, as a way of giving the party back to the people, as a way of removing that godfatherism. What we should equally argue with them that now you are in the National Assembly. We have about 360 something members in the House of Assembly Rep. About is it 190 something in Senate. This is a question of representation. One should have argued that okay, let all Nigerians pack to the National Assembly. Why are you going there to represent? If the party should not have delegates, executive who represents them for the purpose of electing and bringing up their flag bearers. So for me, I don't see anything wrong. Where I will see something wrong is in the event of time, if the two chambers of National Assembly fail to do the needful by correcting that aspect of direct or indirect primary and sending it back to the president for assent. That's why I'll pick issue. Then again, whether direct or indirect primary, even if Mr. President had assented to it, I wouldn't have issue. The only issue I would have had is the capital intensive nature of it, as being explained by INEC. But I've dealt with that. Because this is like trying to throw away the baby with the water. Because the major issue in this electoral bill is electronic transfer of election results. And that is what we are looking at. So these politicians should not allow Nigeria lose this golden opportunity to deepen this democracy by strengthening this electoral law to compel INEC to give INEC independence to decide mode of election, transmission of election results. That because before now, if you transmit election result, it is not legal. It is a question of privilege. It is a question. In fact, it's not bad. And we want to stand on ensure that
Afa. Okay, let's go.
So, Mr. Christian, in line with what I was saying, I said it is high time Nigeria needs to have a database of those that own lorry, truck, vehicles in Nigeria, because it should be so what primitive and what archaic. We see a road safety official starts chasing after a vehicle just because the vehicle might have uh, might have evaded arrest. Now you now start uh, uh, to drag steering with driver. Definitely what that will cause what chaos. So please, the government needs to what educate this this what officials. It is high time when someone if someone beats the traffic light, let the person go rather than what pick his plate number, write down his plate number, so that see when next the person flies that route, you can easily address the person. Not that dragging you start dragging the steering with the driver along the run. Surely the driver might lose control.
It seems like the attitude of the police nowadays salary that people should be careful of how they deal with the police, especially at this point in time.
Ah, that is a true. That is what that was what the that was the what this man said. The what head of service, Folash Adeson. He said every civil servant should spend wisely and cautiously, because salary for November, for this December, is not certain. So now it shows that now police will come out in full force with their anger now, constitutionally now, to just for them to collect bribe. Because if you no pay policeman, you no fit fly highway. And now the implication is that now we should be very watchful, because the policeman who is out to protect lives and property, just to safeguard what an ordinary Nigerian man will not safeguard us at this point, because the government is saying there is no money to pay civil servants this December. By all implications, you know that now policeman would 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 rather go to highway checkpoint and start collecting bribe. So now this mountain is what legal. This one, the federal government has given what the go ahead, the ticket for them.
As it were, not that the federal government has given them go ahead.
Federal government has given them now legally now to go and start
Is that a
collecting
report from
bribe.
the federal
It
government?
is not report, because now by every indications, even when the police are being paid, they still
Alas,
collect bribe. And now you are telling them, the federal government is telling them that no salary for December, because of the shortfall in the what revenue. Now how do you expect the policeman to feed his family this December period without him not indulging in what in what all these numerous atrocities?
Neparo's activities.
He would surely, there's no way to about it now. And the IT is saying that he will deploy about 12,000 policemen to the what, highway. Now those 12 policemen, now every motorist now that is traveling or that is flying that road now should make sure that he or she has about 12,000 naira, because every checkpoint you see you must settle, because of the anger and the hunger in which the federal government have refused to pay them their salary for this month. So now they will Don't good. Oh, yeah, back to your question.
Okay. Somebody said mm, police needs bribe to keep the society happy. If you don't bribe, you are committing a crime because police get family and taste to that is from virgin money.
Virgin money, na true you talk. Oh, I know dispute that
They are your
fact.
friend though.
I know dispute that fact. Eh?
They're your
They
friend.
are friend now. When
So
it comes to
this
when it comes to their pocket now.
this Christmas when
Eh?
you see the police, but it's unfortunate that they are not being paid. But
This for December.
the senators and House of Rep, they will be paid.
The truth of the matter is, I don't know how we find ourselves here, because these are people who are supposed to even be more paid than the so-called senators. I don't now. What does the senator does? Just to sit in Abuja, make stupid laws, come up with stupid policies that are not even
Like
favorable.
Buhari reject.
Then okay, now imagine the president be getting electoral bill, something that would this is a bill that will even give our electoral body a new facelift, something that even the NGOs and some stakeholders and some uh, and some bodies has even welcomed that fine. It is a good development and see for the first time in nation of Nigeria, you can vote without no fear. You can vote and your vote will be what counted. And now one man is trying to put the country into what anarchy because of what because of his level of what education. Now I listen to the to the special adviser on media, Gabashewu. He said that the reason why the president has refused to assent to the what electoral bill is because INEC as a body are not ready, and INEC is saying they are ready. Are you to speak for INEC? INEC is saying we are very much ready, and then they say INEC came up with this issue of election transmission before it was passed in the Senate, and now this bill has lie fallow in the table of the president for good 30 days, and by constitution, if a bill is before the president before 30 days, the National Assembly can what override the bill and what assent to it and then make it a law. Just because of the greed, the Senate president is so loyal to the president that was everything the president does is his right, and for their own selfish interest, majority of them know that if this thing becomes a law, if this electoral bill becomes a law, majority of them will not return to the yellow chamber. Majority of them, even the Senate president, will not return, because that is why they are what against the bill. That is why majority of them don't want the bill to become a law, because when you transmit election via electronically, it means that one, if it is 4 people that voted in that polling booth, it is the 4 people that their vote will be what counted. The majority of them knows the what implication, and that is why they are what against it. And Nigerians are saying that we will resist it. Enough of say our mumu don't do. If the president sign this bill, it shows the president also is the number one problem of Nigeria. Yes, is the number one problem of this country, because this is something, this to me is a welcome development that will make our votes count. If truly he wants a credible election, the president ought to have signed this thing even before the National Assembly bringing the bill to his table. He should have assented to it, not that he should keep on delaying it just because of selfish interest, because he wants to favor some set of people. We are saying no to it. President, sign the what electoral bill, so that it can be one man, one vote. No more snatching of ballot box. And the senators too. If truly the senators are very ready to, because I know those of them too, they are also what accomplished with this, because they know that this electoral bill will also what affect them. If truly they are ready, they can still what override and then overturn the president's decision by making it a law. The National Assembly now is now proposing 42 billion to renovate National Assembly,
I have not paid police.
and there's not pay police. And why a bill a bill that will favor me and you is lying before the president. This is cause for what? An impeachable offense. If really these lawmakers they are serious and very sincere, the president ought to have been impeached before 30 days, because now you cannot take a bill to the president for good 1 month and the president has not assent to it, and the other president is 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 not saying anything. It shows us Nigeria is really a zoo, and that is why senators, the what executive among don't want anything good for this country. Thank you for having me.
I have Mr. Charles. Good morning. Mr. Charles Ndibo.
Good morning, Mr. Christian. How was your night?
Prospective Biafran senator. Am I correct?
By the social grace of God. By the social grace of God.
Now that I have not paid police salary, just be careful. Like what?
They'll be shooting anyhow. There are no salary for December for the policemen. So shootings.
But not all policemen will behave unprofessionally.
My brother,
even though they don't pay them.
My brother, Igbo people see. Let me use this as an Igbo. Let me speak in Igbo. An Igbo see na ofaka rotaramanu zirora. Generally, it means a lot. As long as the policemen has not been paid their December salary, even the motorists, the bus drivers, will be very, very careful, because hungers, they come out with anything and start shooting anyhow, because these are dafts that they don't even know what they are doing. They are not even trained.
Not all of them.
Even if, my brother, definitely, bet of the same feather, bet of the same feather flows together. Even if we among them, we actually have the good ones. Are you getting me? But how many good ones could you be able to quantify in the police force? So as long as the policeman's salary has not been paid, I am advising Nigerian citizens, everybody should be very, very careful.
Somebody say you guys have entered one chance.
That is it. Another one chance. The policemen have not been paid their December salary. It's a very, very big one chance, because everybody has to be very, very careful, because you are no more safe. There's no more money to pay. So definitely, what would they do? They will start making,
It's November salary.
Even if it's November salary, these are people that don't normally collect bribe every now and then, but they believe that as if
even when they are collecting salary,
they are collecting bribe. So what are you saying? I am advising Nigerian citizens that they have to be very, very careful. They have to be. This is December month. This is December period. If you are traveling, be very careful, because hold extra money for police, hold extra money for them, because they are out now to do.
No, let's not say they are out. Let's just watch what happens.
That's nothing like what. That's exactly what. There's nothing you will watch. My brother, the country we are into, there's nothing like prediction. When you see what will happen, you have known it. You have known that this is exactly what to go. The police people,
Did you know that Buhari will reject the electoral bill?
I know. I said it here 2 weeks ago that the so-called Buhari will never sign this electoral bill. If I'm not mistaken, that was on November 15th. I said it, that Buhari will never sign this electoral bill, because most of these people that are there, they have recycled themselves as an old man. They don't want to leave that particular post, and they believe that signing this electoral bill is going to affect their personal ambition. Are you getting me? Now, the electoral bill that has not been signed by Buhari, in a real sense of it, we said we are practicing democracy. Are you really sure we're practicing democracy? When electoral bill has not been signed, there is election by proxy. Somebody can vote for you. Somebody can. But once you sign this electoral bill into law, and there is this thing has not even been taken to a Senate House, that it has been vetoed by most of the senators. Take this thing, let it be signed. But what you are trying to tell the whole world is this: one, if you should take this thing to, if this thing should not be signed, it means that even cows in the north will still continue voting in this country. Even animals.
It will be signed. It will be signed.
It will be signed, but why will he be rejecting it? After 1 month.
It's because the direct primaries, that clause, the direct primaries, that's why he has not signed it.
My brother,
he's not going to favor the governors.
He's not going to
favor the parties.
He's not going to favor them, and I believe that most of them, they are beginning to reap the fruit of their wickedness. Look at somebody like Devumai. Look what is happening in Ebonyi State now. He is now being accused now that five engineers missing under his custody, and then people believe that he's the one that he knows everything. He knows everything that happens to them. So definitely, they are reaping the fruits of their wickedness. These are the cycle. These old men from 70 to 80, they just decided to recycle themselves. They don't want to leave that particular post. Are you getting me? So the reason is very, very simple. Buhari should go and sign this electoral bill into law. If not, and pay police so that our life will be safe. It has just started yesterday. How many people were killed? How many children were killed? Was it 2 days ago? Because even if, okay, there is any lasma here now. There's no any lasma. Right from here to Agege, you will not see a single lasma here since yesterday. Because they know that what they did is very, very wrong. You cannot see lasma again until, and I said it here in this platform, October 8th, that very soon is going to be end of lasma, no more end of SARS.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
I have Mr. No time to check time. Mr. Raphael, travel. No time to check time.
Yeah, no time to check time.
Not been paid their salary for November.
That's good. I even
Let's
see.
expect a good working relationship with you.
I thank God. Yes, they did not pay them, but yesterday one of our viewers, John Onochie, was even trying to send a message across to you to visit one maybe member, is a brother or somebody like that that has not been paid among the MPF. He worked with MPF. Onochie was saying that online yesterday. So if they have not paid their November salary, I think is a good message to them.
Worry as a citizen?
As a citizen, we should not be worried because we can't do their work for them. We are not the one that is policing the society, but it's going to have side effects on their side. Ask me why. Their family is going to feel what the family of the common Nigerians are feeling. Are you listening to me? But what happened now is that without their salary, they are going to torment the motorists the more. The motorists are the ones that are going to suffer it most because there will be much extortions this time around from the motorists. Do you understand? Then again, where it can affect the Nigerian citizens more is that they are bit of duty. That is roadblock. I think they are going to desert it or abandon it for a while now, due to the fact that their salary has not been, paid. So those are the side effects. Then again, it will, compel them to delve into other, businesses like selling out their guns, lending out their guns to the armed robbers.
That is
very, very unfortunate. So, it's going to have many effects, side effects. We are going to feel it, Christian, too.
I pray you don't have anything to do with the policeman this season.
No.
He has not collected salary. They might vent their anger.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That frustration, they will unleash it on the motorists. You understand? See all these buses, see the Okada people? There will be much extortions this time around. And as I'm saying, they're going to lend their guns to the miscreants, you understand, to the hoodlums. So police will, like to delve into more illegal activities other than their normal official duties.
Is it supposed to be so?
It is not supposed to be so now. Even if they fail to pay them their salaries, there are other ways they can protest. There are other ways they can make their grievances known to the government or to the members of the public. It cannot, compel them. It should not compel them to, activities like nefarious activities like stealing or lending their guns to armed robbers. But because of the rot in our society, in our system, they are going to do otherwise. They are going to do that because our society here is not as advanced as that of Europe.
Senators, House of Members are going to collect their salaries.
They're going to collect their salaries. That one is for sure. Look at the money they map out to renovate National House of Assembly, 42 billion. Renovation, I was asking myself, are they constructing new complex? Is it not just ordinary painting, remove the former rug, buy new one, remove the furniture, repair the roof that might be leakages. Even in the recent times, there was something like that, leakages, which gutted over 10 billion. Do you understand? So that is the side effect. They are going to collect their salaries. In fact, they collect their salaries before any other civil service in Nigeria. They are the one that collect the money first. I listen to me. It cannot affect them. It doesn't touch them. The police, the orderlies, their security men that are guarding them, they give them money. The monument, the money they give those ones is even bigger than their salaries. So it doesn't affect them now. Both upper house and lower house, they are the one managing the countries. I think understand. Thereby being rubber stamps to the executive, because whatever they do, the executive must give them what? Note, agreement.
Buhari rejects electoral bill.
Electoral bill rejection is what is going to make this crops of politicians we have currently to recycle themselves. Electoral bill, Buhari kicks at it. It means Buhari himself, he doesn't want to go. In the sense that Buhari himself wants APC to remain. He wants the same crops of what? Legislators to remain. Upper house and lower house. He wants people like governors, Supreme Court governors, like, what is that his name? Hope Ozodimba, to remain there for the next 4 years. He wants Hope to complete its 8 years, thereby subjecting Imo people to eat pankanel and concrete. Yes, electoral bill, do you know what it means? It means rigging continue. After casting their vote, they will just allow them to go to the accreditation center. A lot of things transpire inside the bus. It is no longer as we are voting, it's going direct to the INEC portals for people to see who is winning and who is losing.
Take a look at Anambra election.
Anambra election, yes, the needful was done because we didn't agree. We don't want a range pass election. No. Immediately they were casting their votes at Idemili North, Idemili South, Nnewi, Anambra, Onitsha. It is going direct to the INEC portal. Everybody is saying it. Do you understand? That's why it is bad as this useless man from Niger kick against electoral bill. He shouldn't have done that. He is supporting it. He doesn't want them to live there. But do you know what it means? Had it been the needful should be done, it means another political party is taking over from APC. APC want to sit put till 2023, till 2011, and so on and so forth. These are the same group of people, crop of politicians that have been controlling Nigeria over the years. They want to kick out the electoral bill so that they will stay, they will remain. But if you ask me Nigerians, if you ask me viewers, if you ask me Europe, America, I'm telling you, having not signed electoral bill, let me tell you, come 2023, there should be no election. Let people's other parties back out
from the election.
Yes, let Nigerians say, no, we're not going to the polls. Let students spring up again. Let another protest that is worse than NSAS spring up. Because failure to sign electoral bill, Nigeria is heading to Atlantic Ocean. Why should we be fools? Does he know the meaning of not signing the electoral bill? That's why I'm telling you that the man there is not a Nigerian, because he doesn't have the interest of Nigerians at heart. Okay. The electoral bills, who are the people that are going to enjoy it not being signed as Buhari kick it? The same lawmakers. All those senators, they want to remain there over 20 years. I didn't understand. Lawan Ahmed Lawan, Senate President, he want to remain. What are you saying? Bajamila, Eba. He want to remain there in the lower house. So that's why they kick against signing electoral bill. They want a range pass. But let me tell you now. Now that Buhari has kicked against signing electoral bill, you people will know that Adam Ochimole is not dead. The man is just sleeping. He's going to wake up. He will come out on the political stage of the country and start his scheming.
He's part of APC.
He's part of APC because Buhari, Tinubu will get upper hand this time around. Tinubu is a master rigger. Yes. Provided he kicks against electoral bill, we will see what will happen in Lagos State. They are going to hijack election everywhere in Lagos State, because not signing electoral bill means not giving us the main freest and fair election that Nigerians need. The electorate, they are going to waste their time that day, because they will do every effort for Nigerians to vote the person that they want to rule Nigeria or to be in the position of power.
Lastly, Nigeria remains Africa's biggest economy.
It's a lie.
I mean, IMF, look at it.
IMF, hey, who is this one? IMF is headed by Christine Lagarde. Christine Lagarde is from France. I don't know the current Lagarde, yeah, is from France. I don't know the current chairman or president of IMF. Maybe they have changed that woman. Nigeria, Africa biggest economy. What are they saying? A country that has not diversified, that's diversified for over how many years now? Nigeria is an crude oil-based economy. Minus oil, we are nobody. What go and saying that we are the biggest Africa economy remains Angola, Kenya, this ordinary Kenya you see, Egypt, and so on and so forth. What are you telling me? Is South Africa not better than Nigeria economically? What are you telling me? What are you saying? Angola is better. Let me call.
Nigeria have more mineral resources than South Africa.
If you have vast mineral resources, do you harness it well? How do you manage it? Do you manage the realization from those vast mineral resources or endowment God has given you? We have vast mineral endowment. We are endowed with vast minerals here. After the realization, how do you use the money? Are those money not stolen by lawmakers, by governors, by Mr. President and his cohorts? That doesn't mean that you are the biggest African largest economy, because you don't use it well. Look around you. What are you seeing here? Power failure. Oga, let me tell you, Ogas in abroad, for the past 1 week, we don't have power. No light in Oba. No light in Ikeja, everywhere. Send phone call across if you have somebody living in Oba now. Call from abroad. Over 1 week, epileptic power supply is an understatement. Blackout totally. And they're even telling us that in December, we are going to celebrate December in utter what? Darkness. Is that not what they told us? Yes, they say we should what? We should be very patient with them. Oh. Every day you see them with ladder, going to and fro, flying all over Lagos. I don't know what they are doing. As I'm talking to you now, Oba, the Lagos suburb, Ikeja, this thing, is what? Like a ghost town, no light. Everybody is dying in what? Heat. There is much.
Sharp. Just 2 minutes.
Okay.
Just run off.
Okay, the revolution.
Yeah.
The revolution we are talking about, we have industrial revolution, that's economically, then political revolution, you understand? So let me tell you, we need political revolution. We need a change in government. A change in government cannot be achieved with ordinary velvet glove. No, it is achieved with what? It can only be achieved with guns. The kind of revolution that Jerry Rawlings did in Ghana, it succeeded. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
From being a military man, the man changed over to civilian. And that's why Ghana remains what it is today. The best West African country is Ghana, economy-wise. I think you understand me. The kind of revolution that Napoleon Bonaparte did in France, 1789, I think, 17th centuries. It changed France. The kind of revolution that happened in Romania in 1989, this 1989, which is just at something years ago, Romania remained a monarchy. Do you understand? Until 1989, they deposed the king and the queen. So they become a modern state. The kind of revolution that happened in Russia, the kind of revolution that happened everywhere in the world so that their system will be working, is what we want here. Kill all these people. They have been recycling and recycling and recycling themselves. The ruling classes. The type you have in Britain, the ruling classes. Go and investigate Winston Churchill. Go and investigate the families of the people that are ruling in Great Britain today. The same people. I'm telling you, Britain is the cause of our problem again. We need to turn our back at Britain. Britain, we should turn our back to you. You are the one that is benefiting from this dangerous system. Britain, Queen Elizabeth, you are one that has put Nigeria in this condition. Britain is benefiting from Buhari traveling to UK. All the time he traveled there, we stay 3 months. Do you know the parking space he's paying? Do you know how much he pays for parking lots a day? In pounds. Britain is very dangerous. Britain is a fox. Britain are calling people. Britain are the major 419 we have on earth.
Okay.
They are the one killing Nigeria. Britain to leave us. Israel, go and tell Britain to leave us. America, go and advise your father, Britain, to leave us. Germany, advise your motherland, England, Britain, UK to leave us. We are tired. Britain is the one spoiling Nigeria. We need a change. We need a change.
Thank you very much. That's Mr. Raphael this morning. Thank you very much for your analysis. A big thank you to all that have spoken today, Mr. Chigozie, Mr. Raphael, Mr. Matthew, and our wonderful bystanders here this morning. I don't know their names. I like what you call their name this morning. Thank you very much. I'm Christian Chiku on this other edition of Bystanders News. A big thank you to the man behind the camera, Mr. Ifeanyi. Thank you very much. And also thank you for those that have been watching that have participated on the live chat. Thank you very much. We'll come to a close this morning till tomorrow as we meet by God's grace. Bye for now.